Good morning, everyone. It's a misty morning here. It's raining a little bit, ever so slightly. I am a handful of miles inland from the coast, maybe half a dozen miles, in some state forest here. This is where I camped last night. And now it's time to do probably my least favorite chore of the day here on this trip, and that is to load up the broken pieces of the roof rack back into the vehicle. On this trip, I am once again borrowing a Suburban from Suboverland. And you can see inside here the bed and the storage cubbies on the side. The rack and the shower that were on top, the solar shower, came off. The crossbars ripped off, and I've been toting these around inside for the last several days, so I need to put them back inside so I can take off here. And it's raining, it's just starting to rain, so I need to do this quickly before they get too wet. And before my camera gets too wet. All right, got it in here and secured with some bungee cords, so we are ready to go. Let's hit the road. Look at this sunrise view here. Sun's just starting to come up. It's gonna be a good day. So as I was driving along the road here, I saw this herd of elk in this field. These are Roosevelt elk. These are a different species to Rocky Mountain elk, which is what I normally see in my neck of the woods in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. So the plan today is similar to yesterday's, which is basically that I have a big list in my notebook here of things I want to see and do, and I'm not going to get to all of them, but I'm going to try to fit in as much as I can. And again, it's difficult when it gets dark so early. It gets dark at, like really dark at about 5, and I need to start looking for a campsite around 4 or 4:30. So I don't have a ton of time in the day. It is 8 o'clock now. We're going to make the most of the day, see as much as we can, and I think I'm about half an hour from our next destination over on the coast. I just saw this sign, Sugar Shack Bakery, as I was driving through town here. Saw that it was open. I like bakeries. Let's go inside and see if we can find something tasty. Well, they had a lot to choose from in there, but this is what I went with. I went with just a regular maple bar. I'm a big sucker of anything maple flavored. And then I think she called it a cream cheese pocket. I think it's like a cheese Danish. I'll let you know how they are once we get to the next spot. Welcome to the Oregon Dunes. More specifically, this is Oregon Dunes National Recreation Area. And even more specifically, I think this is called, the spot where I am now, Oregon Dunes Overlook and Day Use Area. It's just a giant dune field along the coast for like 40 miles. And here's the water out here. I think I'm gonna hike this trail that goes along here, and then down across this stretch of sand and out onto the beach. I feel slightly sick after eating that cheese Danish thing. It was good, but that much sugar right off the bat this morning was kind of a shock to the system, so I did not eat the maple bar. Also, I guess I'll save that either for dessert tonight or breakfast tomorrow. But let's be honest, it'll probably be later today. And here we are. I made it to the beach. Took a little bit under 20 minutes. It's a little bit under a mile. It's a rough and rowdy sea today, as it has been the last couple of days. Big old beach here. Long and empty. I have yet to actually touch the water on this trip, so I need to do that. I need to touch the water so that I can say I've touched the Pacific Ocean on this trip. I think the tide is relatively low right now, so I've got to walk out here a little ways. All right, I don't want to get my shoes wet. Ugh. I touched it, did you see? There we go. Okay, mission accomplished. I touched the water. Somehow managed to not get my shoes wet, kept them dry. Let's walk along the beach here and explore a little bit, see if we can find anything interesting. Well, we've got a bunch of broken up shells of different sizes and colors. That's not terribly surprising. Over here we have, I think this is called bull kelp. I think this is part of a crab. This looks like the top part of a crab. I think this is too. Got some more crab parts and more crab parts. Well, apart from discarded crab appendages and various other crab body parts and entire dead crabs and various clam pieces, there's not a whole lot to show for our beach combing efforts here. Let's take to the air, see what we can find from above. I'm now at this little roadside pullout here. It's called Darlingtonia Wayside, and this is a place where you can observe a plant called Darlingtonia californica, which is also known as the cobra lily, cobra orchid, and pitcher plant, and it traps and eats insects. And so yes, that puts it in the meat-eating plant category, up there with the much more famous and better known Venus flytrap. This short trail here leads through the forest to an observation deck where you can take a look at the cobra lilies. And here they are. That didn't take very long at all. Cobra lily is an excellent name for that plant. That is exactly what it looks like. Looks like a cobra. These are about 2 feet tall. I know it's hard to tell in the video here, but yep, they're pretty big. And these are a native plant to this region. Okay, so basically there is an opening underneath here, kind of where this leaf mustache is. There's an opening. A bug goes in there, so let's say a fly. A fly goes in there, and it can't get out immediately because of these transparent windows up here. Those also look like openings, and so the bug doesn't know which one is the way it came in. It can't get back out. And then this middle section here, this leaf tube, is very slick, so the fly can't get a good foothold. And then these sharp hairs here keep the fly from walking back up once it gets down to this point. Then it falls into the digestive enzymes down at the base, and this puts it well here. The captive is digested and absorbed as food through the plant's thin lower walls. Awesome. How cool is that? Alright, I'm at an area here right on the coast. that has a few really interesting things to see here. Let me show you. There's a bridge here over what's called Cook's Chasm. And it's just this little canyon or gorge coming in from the ocean. Incredibly violent, turbulent water coming through here. And then there's a feature over here. It's a hole in the rock. It's called the Spouting Horn. So waves come in, go through the opening underneath here, and water shoots out like a geyser. Then over here we have a feature called Thor's Well. This is a famous feature where water crashes over the rocks and also comes in underneath and then drains back down. It's like it's draining the ocean. Usually this is really only visible or impressive at high tide, from what I understand. But with the stormy seas we have here today, I'm still getting a good show, even though it's almost low tide right now. This is spectacular. I could stand and watch this stuff all day. There's a little path here leading to an overlook of Thor's Well. It gets you a little bit closer, so that's where I'm headed. And you're not supposed to stand out right next to it because, you know, the waves are breaking, and I imagine it would get pretty easy to be swept away. Well, the view of Thor's Well isn't that much better here than higher up by the parking lot. But let's take a closer look at Cook's Chasm here. Get a better view of the spouting rock, or spouting hole, or whatever it's called. Spouting Horn, that's what it's called. Not hole, horn. Well, when you think of the coast, you think of lighthouses. I've driven past a bunch of them on this trip, but I haven't really stopped at any of them. So I wanted to stop at one, take a good look at one, and give you guys a good look too. This is called Yaquina Head Lighthouse, and it's crazy windy right now, so I'm just gonna play some music while I show you the lighthouse and the ocean around it. I'm 10 minutes up the coast at the next spot I wanted to see. I'm just gonna keep the music going. This spot is called Devil's Punchbowl. Alrighty, out of the wind, into the car, and on to dinner. I went to a Thai restaurant. Oh boy, look at that. That is a big-sized bucket of yellow curry. And not enough rice. Isn't that always how it is? This place was called Thai Bay. I'm in Lincoln City, Oregon. I've come to this kind of quiet parking lot to eat. Okay, spooning a couple spoonfuls of rice in there. So like I said, this is yellow curry, and it has chicken, onions, potatoes, and carrots in it. Kind of standard yellow curry ingredients here. Yeah, this hits the spot. After being in the cold and the wind and the rain all day, it's nice to have some warm food. All right, let me finish this off. I'll see you guys when we get to a campsite sometime, probably in half an hour or so. Welcome to my campsite in the forest here. This is National Forest land. Pretty enough area, but the campsite itself isn't that great. No complaints though, I'm happy to have a spot for the night. I drove around on these roads for a while. These are logging roads, and it took me a while to find a campsite. I had to go down several different paths to finally find a spot, but I did, and I'm ready to be done for the day. It's been a good trip so far. I've really been enjoying my adventures along the Oregon coast. I have one more day on the coast here. Tomorrow I'll be continuing and I guess finishing up my adventures along the Oregon coast. I haven't planned out the day yet. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but it'll be good. I know, I'm excited. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Be sure to give this video a thumb up. And yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.